What's going on, everybody? Just doing a little live chat right now through YouTube and Instagram. Just kind of catching some people up. Just got back from the PGA show yesterday, early morning, and it was quite the experience. So I put out a little post earlier that was kind of asking some people some ask me a question, anything that regarding the PGA show or golf, cameras, marketing, whatever they wanted to talk about. So I was going to answer a few of those on here and see if there was some other questions that come up. And so let's get started. One of the first questions I got was asking, what trend do I see being popular in golf right now? And on this trip, I kind of picked up on something that was very interesting to me, and I think it's something that's going to catch on in golf quite a bit. And that was we played this place called Winter Park, and it's a 9-hole course, and it's got super cool story to it. And built in 1914, and they just rebuilt it 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years, and it's a little 9-holer that you play super quick and a lot of fun. So what I'm seeing is that a lot of younger players don't want to spend the 4.5 hours or 5 hours out on the golf course anymore. So what they're doing is playing 9 holes, or they're trying to cater towards people that just want to get out there for a quick nine, or maybe not even a full nine. So me and my buddy Caleb played that course in probably like an hour and 40 minutes in the morning. And they had par threes, par fours, par fives, and it was just a blast being out there, being able to play super quick and playing a quality course that had a very cool vibe to it. So I kind of feel like a lot of golf is going to be going that direction here relatively soon. We played another course. It was called the Legends Walk, and so it was a 9-holer that was lit. And I don't mean that in the way kids are saying it these days. I mean that it was lit up at night so that you could play until about 11 o'clock. And so you walk around and it's all lit up by these stadium lights. And it was a blast just being out there playing a par three course with some challenging holes that were between 115 yards to 200 yards. And so I feel like golf is going to start heading that direction where a lot of us don't have 4.5 hours to commit to a round of golf anymore. We're either too busy with family, friends, jobs, whatever it may be. And so I think golf is going to start catering towards these 9 holes, these cooler environments where you can come out, drink a few beers, and get done in an hour and a half. And it's something you can do before going out on the town, or really just doing the morning real quick before work. So I just kind of think that's going to be something that we see a lot more of, a lot more courses trying to add on these quick nines, these chip and putts, or par three courses that are super easy to get around. Another one of the questions that I kind of saw was, what was my favorite part of the PGA show? And that's really tough to kind of narrow down because the PGA show was almost overwhelming to be honest. I landed at 6 a.m. in the morning, went straight to the hotel, got unpacked a little bit, drove over to where the what is it called, to the convention center really, and walked around, got our media passes, all of that stuff, then jumped in a car, went to demo day, and we spent probably, I don't know, 30 minutes at demo day just trying to book it around as quick as we could because we had a tea time to make at like, it was at like 1:30. So it was just kind of whirlwind for demo day. And then the next day we went to the show for a few hours and got to walk around, and you're literally looking at tens of thousands of people in there mixed with, I said thousands of vendors, and I gotta believe it's somewhere in that realm, but there was literally I mean several hundred at least vendors, and you're walking across this convention center that's got to be a mile. I don't know. It took us probably 10, 15 minutes to walk all the way across from one side to another. So you're looking at this place that's just mammoth, and trying to see all of the different vendors, all the different people that are up and coming, and it's almost ludicrous. Like you get in there and you're seeing every brand, every startup brand, pros, celebrities, everything within just a short amount of time, and it's really in like quite the chap says, it's impossible. It's impossible to see everything. Um, but I'm really glad I went. And the kind of the general consensus is when you go to these things, is your first time is kind of just you're winging it, and you're going to make a plan for next year to kind of see what you want to do. A lot of people that are in the golf profession kind of map out where they're going to be going, and then they kind of go visit those vendors that they might want to carry, or at least have a general idea of what they're going to visit. I went with zero idea, so I winged it to the extreme, and it was just it was almost too much to just take in. So I walked around, I saw a few of the brands that I was familiar with. It was really cool to see some of the new stuff that's coming out, and I just really appreciate the experience that I got to experience there, because I got to meet so many cool people, a lot of creative people, a lot of social media people, and PGA professionals. It's really it's what I kind of feel is being up in Alaska. I am one of those people, of the few up here, that are obsessed with golf. We love it. We think about it all the time. And I get called strange by some people that maybe don't share that up here. Well, when you go to this PGA show, you're literally surrounded by everybody else that literally shares the same ideas and thoughts as you. So it's kind of like one big a golf fest, where it's everybody has golf on the mind all the time. And so it was really cool to be a part of that finally, and just see what I need to plan for next year. Um, I got to play a bit of golf while I was there. Being in Alaska, obviously, our season's not for another 5, 6 months. So it's nice to break that up with a couple rounds and just be able to get outside and hit the clubs and just see how it goes. And really, I was actually surprised with how I played. I think I shot like 80, 78, and then we played a 9-holer twice and shot like 75 or something like that. So I feel pretty good about how I'm going to come into next season, and hopefully be able to put up some low numbers this year. If you've watched some of my goal videos, one of my goals this year is to shoot under par, mainly shooting a 69, I think was what I wrote down. So I'm on the way there. I kind of went out there with very low expectations, and I was pretty pleased. I had a great time. I took a ton of pictures. I literally uploaded my SD card to my computer, and it didn't seem to stop loading. Like, it was at 1,000 pictures, and that was just like after 2 days. So I have so much to go through. I started putting together a video that is kind of a recap of the show, and it's like I have to break this video apart, because there's so much that happened in 4 days that I'm not sure if I can squeeze that into one video and make it not look like it just jumps from traveling to golf to the show to golf to the show to the golf to the show, which was basically what happened to us. So I'm gonna have to think about it a little bit more, and see what I want to end up doing with that. I know a lot of guys that were at the show have videos coming out, so it brings up another point in my video creation, is what do I want to do that's going to be a unique take on the show. And part of me doesn't know if I can actually do that, because I didn't quite have a very good plan when I went down there of shots that I wanted to get. But I did get a bunch of shots, but I just don't know if they're going to be different than what a lot of people are going to be putting out regarding the PGA Merchandise Show 2019. So I had a lot of good talks with some of the creatives there. You'll see one of them's in the Instagram chat, the Quite the Chap. Go check him out. He does some awesome stuff. I've really appreciated his videos that have come out. I mean, it just we're on the same brainwave, it seems like. And we just met before the show online, and then we met in person, and it was perfect. we have a lot in common, and that's what I want to go to the show for, is to meet like-minded people and bounce ideas off of and kind of help me grow and hopefully help other people grow that needed accountability partners for creating stuff or whatever that may be. So it's one of those things where the show was great. I just don't know if the content I'm going to put out regarding the show is going to be exactly what I want to do. And that's something that I've had to think about a lot, in terms of, do I want to put out stuff that I'm not completely thrilled with? And I still don't know where I am with that yet. So you guys will probably still see a recap of the show, but it's a struggle to want to put out something that everybody's going to be putting out something similar to, because that's what I want to get away from in general. One of the other questions I got through Instagram is, who are some of the best people you met and in while I was there. I have to say, I met a lot of social media people while I was there. We went to a party, met the Golficity guys, Golfholics, Golf in Your State. I met Quite the Chap. I met Peter Finch. I met a lot of guys that I've looked up to for actually a few years now, and have followed their media that they're putting out. And it was very cool to kind of just see their thought process behind, they're there, they love golf, and they've been able to put out content that people enjoy and experience growth from that. And so it gives me hope that, like, even out though I'm in Alaska, I can still put out something that people will enjoy. So it was just nice to meet those people and get their feedback on stuff, and talk business, talk golf, talk everything. And it just was great to meet those people that think just like I do in a lot of regards. So that was those are just a few of the people I met. I can't even mention everybody that I came across, because it's absolute mayhem between Top Golf, the show, the parties, the dinners, the breakfast, the rounds of golf. It's I encourage you, if you are in the golf world, to make it to the show at least once, just to see what is going on there, because it's mayhem. I loved it. It was great. So another question that I had on there was, let's see here, best training aid that I saw there. So it was, yeah, what was the best training aid that was there? It's tough to say. I didn't get to play with a lot of them there, but I got to touch them, see them, and see some of the new stuff that is coming out. I'm a big fan of Putt Out, and I know they're out of London, I believe. They're out of England, and I have the Putt Out original training, where it's kind of shaped like this, and you roll the ball up, and it has a hole in there to stop the ball if you roll it at the perfect speed. And you can look them up. They're super great brand. They have a new kind of putting mirror with a gate on there that I really liked, and I'm hoping I can get my hands on that one of these days as well. Super cool training aid. I just really don't buy into a lot of the training aids as a general rule of thumb, because I don't know. I mean, a lot of them I don't think are very good, to be honest. So that's just me. D-Lit, did you buy anything from the show? You know, I didn't. I don't even know if they're really selling anything at the show per se. A lot of it is PGA professionals going there to see what they're going to stock in their pro shops and stuff for the year, and going there to show stuff that's up and coming and isn't quite available yet. So I can't say that nothing is for sale there, but I just didn't notice anything being sold while I was there. But there was a lot of cool stuff coming out. I just put out a video Friday that was kind of the Par 5 Friday, that was 5 cool things that I saw at the show. True Linkswear shoes. They have some new ones coming out that look absolutely awesome. I already have a pair of them, the originals, but the ones that they're coming out fully waterproof, look super modern, very cool shoe that I think a lot of people are going to like. They also had another pair that was kind of a low profile sneaker that I think people will be jacked about as well in the golf world. So let's see. One of my favorites. I like putt out, very good putting. Yeah, sweet spot. Yeah, it's something I've used quite a bit. I got it probably a year and a half ago, and it's actually at my golf course. They use it in the pro shop right now. So it's one of those things that super cool to use. Teaches you that proper speed, and it folds up, and you can stick it in your golf bag and take it to the putting green or inside. So it has a lot of uses that I think is very good. And like I said, the putting mirror that they came out with in the putting gate to kind of get your ball started on the right line, I think is going to be a very good seller for them. Um, who did one of the questions was who was the most famous person I saw there? There was a couple that I came across. I saw Shane Bacon. I didn't get to talk to him. He was on the phone. I wanted to say hi. There was Bob Menery was there. He was on at Top Golf the same time we were. Who else was there? Uh, there was John Daly, of course, who was there. He uh, he looked he looked like John Daly. He was walking around, I think, with a couple Hooters girls, and he just looked like he's still living a life. So I don't know. He seemed good. I know there was some sort of John Daly party, but it is what it is. So he was doing his thing still. Patrick Mahomes from the Kansas City Chiefs was at the range. I think if you look at Sports Center or anything like that, you'll see that he had his. They showed him swinging a golf club at Top Golf, and I was right next to there, and it was pretty crazy to see him. A lot of people were asking him what he thought of Tom Brady, and I don't know. I thought it was a little too soon, but Howard Daly's pants looking. They were. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember looking down at his pants, but I just blanked on the name of that brand. They were there though, and they had the Hooters girls at their freaking what is the name of that brand? Um, hold on, that's gonna kill me now. Loudmouth, thank you. I was like flamboyant. What's the name of it? Loudmouth. Yeah, they were there, and I think they had. I don't really know the connection with the Hooters girls, but they were there as well. And to be honest, I ate Buffalo Wild Wings while I was there, and I didn't go to Hooters, so I just not really my scene. I think me and my buddy Caleb ate Buffalo Wild Wings for like 3 days because we went there on Tuesday, got the 2 for 1, so we both got large boneless wings. And the guy was like, "You should get the sauce on the side because then they won't get soggy and you can have them the next day." And we're like, "Oh, good advice." So we did that, and we literally had Buffalo Wild Wings, I think, for at least 2 days. I know we had them for dinner and then for lunch and then dinner the next day. So we kept it cheap. We were frugal. So you got to do what you got to do when you're on the road. So what else was there? Yeah, I mean, do you guys have any questions you want to know what the about? So basically, I just got back from the PGA show. Got back yesterday, really, really, really early morning, like 3 a.m. Went to sleep, woke up at like 9, and then I went to bed last night at like 9:30 and woke up at 7. Um, did I meet Eric Lang? No. That was a real bummer. He got to Top Golf probably 10 minutes after I left, and that was one of the guys that was kind of on my list to meet. And so he was hanging out with like Peter Finch and me and my golf and a bunch of guys, and I think Golficity too. If I'm Mike and Frank, I think. But regardless, I missed him just by a little bit. He was walking around the show, but I think I was out playing golf when that happened. Colby with quite the chap. Will you go back? I think I would like to. I think it's going to depend a lot on what happens over this next year. If things go well in terms of what golf content I'm trying to create and connections I'm trying to make, I think it's a real possibility that I'll try to go back. I don't want to say I will for sure because I think a lot of the connections that I made could have been made other ways. But if things keep growing and progressing, I think being there and meeting those people in person is necessary. So I think it's going to really depend on the next 8 months at least, and then we'll see what happens. But I had a blast. It was nice to meet you there and just see all the cool brands that are out there. So I'll make that call probably next. I don't know. We'll see, like November, and around that time I'll know because I'm also considering some major stuff with the family. I haven't told a lot of people this, but we are considering a move in the next year and a half or two. And so I'm not really ready for details on that yet because I don't know them. We're still just tossing around the idea of what should happen regarding our 9-year old and potentially growing the family and stuff like that. So there's a lot of big things that are kind of on my docket that are going to determine the next few years for me. So let's see. Keith says, "Do you look at the shows as more of a networking opportunity more than a vacation?" Yes, I honestly I felt a lot of anxiety and stress on this trip because I was trying to juggle filming and photographing everything I could. I was trying to make sure that I didn't miss out on opportunities to meet people. I was trying to squeeze in golf when I could, which I did a good job of. And then you're just have that kind of permanent FOMO, like where there's all these parties happening and dinners and breakfasts and lunch and business meetings that you're not just automatically invited to. Sometimes you have to talk to the right people and get the invite or send a message to the right person at the right time. So it really didn't feel like a vacation that much. There was a point where I just simply stopped responding to text messages from friends and even my wife didn't really hear from me that much, but besides going to bed and waking up because I just didn't want anything to do with like technology after 2.5 days of feeling like I was on my phone like 24/7 and using a camera. And it was kind of one of those kind of like burnout moments where you're checking Instagram, you're checking your stories, you're trying to make stories, you're trying to take pictures, you're trying to take video, you're trying to meet people. And it just kind of exhausted me mentally. And that's something I need to work through or get better at, I guess. There was a lot of people doing the same thing as I was doing, and were able to seem to handle it just fine. So that tells me maybe I'm not as mentally strong as they are or something. So I need to kind of figure that out, how if I'm put in those situations, how I can keep myself operating at 100% and juggle all the different things that are going on with social media and contacts and everything else. So it was certainly not necessarily a vacation in my world. It was definitely more of a networking, more of a potential business opportunity. So that's my take on it for sure. So um, let's see. Cool. Yeah. So anybody else watch Tory Pines today? Anybody upset that Justin Rose pulled it off with the new clubs and new sponsor? I thought it was pretty cool. Bonobos has been a brand I think I've had for several years. I haven't bought anything recently, but I remember when they first came on the scene and then they came out with the golf stuff. And I always liked their branding. And it was kind of surprising to see Justin Rose jump on that along with the Hanma clubs. Um, he's doing it for some reason. I don't know. I haven't really looked into it much because it doesn't really matter to me. I think he's a great player anyway, but I'm glad he's kind of picking up two brands that are kind of small in regards to in the big scheme of things. So pretty cool to see him pull it off. I thought Adam Scott might be able to at least make it a little tighter than it was. He ended up having to try to hole out on 18 to really make it happen, but then Justin Rose drains the birdie and it's game over. So it was a good tournament, I think. And I mean, that's a lot of people consider that the kickoff of the 2019 season. And obviously, when there was the controversy with Tiger wearing a pinkish striped shirt instead of his solid red. So already some drama. It's pretty fun. But anyways, I'm trying to do this stream for about a half an hour. The wife's fixing dinner, and I know a lot of people are different West Coast, East Coast. So hours are certainly different than me right now. It's just now 6:20. So we'll give it another 4 minutes. If there's any other questions or anything you want to know about the show, golf, anything in general, just shoot me a quick message. So the hope is that have a great night. All right, Colby, man. Yeah, you have a good one too, and we'll be in touch here real soon, I'm sure. So have a good night. Another thing that I wanted to kind of mention is I'm going to be working on some more videos, and I'm kind of wanting to change it up a little bit in the sense of I want the quality to be better on the videos that I'm putting out, which in turn means that the time that I'm going to have to spend on there may increase. And I'm just not really sure if that's going to mean that I can keep my same schedule of posting on Monday, Tuesday, and then Friday. So that's something that I've been kind of going back and forth on, if that's something that's going to keep the same. So I'm going to have to think about that a bit, but I appreciate any feedback that I get on that. A lot of you have kind of commented on the YouTube videos, and it's been super helpful to just kind of see that you guys appreciate the effort that I'm putting in and the time. But I just wanted to continue to get better and better, and hopefully be able to not only increase the content, but the quality as well. Because I think if you're taking your time to view my stuff, I would love to have you guys leave knowing that you got the best that I could put out. So that's something that I've been kind of juggling with. The trip in general is just a great time for me to be able to sit back and kind of look at what I've put out and think if that is good enough. And it's not. I'm not satisfied with what I've put out. I think it can get better. I think there's a lot of things that can improve. I want my videography to get better. I want to shoot better shots. I want to tell better stories and all of these things. So the trip really helped with that, because it made me sit down and realize that I'm not doing the absolute best I could, and it needs to increase. So that's something that kind of I realized while I was there. And I know at the end of the day, if I can increase that, a lot of you will appreciate that. And so that's kind of the main goal that I want to kind of attack 2019 with. So, well, guys, as always, I appreciate you guys tuning in. We're coming up on 30 minutes right now. I got to get down there for dinner. Just want to touch base, answer some of the questions that kind of got shot my way. Appreciate you guys tuning in, checking it out, asking the questions, and just connecting with me on here. As always, I got YouTube going, and then I got Instagram going over here. So connect with me on either one of those. And I'm always down to talk, collaborate, answer any questions that you might have about Alaska, golf, marketing, cameras, whatever I can answer. I'm no expert by any means, but I do appreciate getting to talk about it quite a bit. So thank you guys. I'll catch you guys next time, and we'll look forward to connecting maybe later this week. All right, we'll catch you later. Bye.